of vulnerable groups in the society as the world battles the pandemic. One such vulnerable group is the visually impaired, who have to touch on surfaces to move or even depend on other people to hold their hands and help them move. Ibrahim Karanja spent time with some of them in Nakuru County, which is quickly becoming an epicenter of the virus, and filed the following report.
When clouds gather in anticipation of heavy rains in Ronda area in Nakuru, 99-year-old Esther Wangu, just like everyone else, scampers for shelter. But of concern is her way of movement. Esther is visually impaired and must touch surfaces to move. Her daughter, Margaret Wangare, shares her fears, especially at a time the Covid-19 pandemic has hit Nakuru hard.
Tunajaribu tu kujikinga, lakini sana Mungu tu atushike na mkono.
But even worse is when she depends on other people to move around. Her daughter, for instance, hawks fruits, coming into frequent contact with money, and with water here being a rare commodity, a hand sanitizer is unheard of.
Tuna struggle kabla tuipate, na tunaipata tena, tunaendelea tu kuitafuta tu kwa nguvu, sio kwa rahisi.
In Shabab area, we find yet another case. Mother of 3, Rebecca Karaoke, also visually impaired, states that hers has been a tricky balance since the onset of the pandemic.
I cannot go in there without being supported. I also use a white cane, also with the support of somebody, so I cannot go with the white cane alone.
This case is highlighting the dangers staring at visually impaired persons. Take Nelson Lubembe, for instance, the only breadwinner for himself and his younger sister.
Ile hard time maybe unaweza pata labda ako infected na Covid-19, alafu anaweza pia kutojua kwa sababu short-sighted.
On a daily basis, Lubembe frequents Nakuru town, having to cross busy roads while being assisted by random strangers holding onto their hands, not even to mention the challenges they confront in public transport.
I sometimes travel with them, use the motorbike or a tuk-tuk when I'm going somewhere. This person has interacted with so many people. Before maybe I call him, has interacted with so many people. So it's also a challenge for that matter.
Huwa nashikwa na uoga na ogopa kwa sababu hujui utakutana na nani. Sasa hujua inabidi kwa sababu labda nikijaribu nimudu mwenyewe kucross barabara, maybe naweza poteza uhai wangu kwa sababu naweza gonga na gari.
Nakuru has in recent days seen a surge in Covid-19 infections, with reports of stretched medical facilities. And with such a vulnerable group in the midst of what seemed to be a carefree public, the battle, it appears, could be far from over, and more lives could be at risk. Ibrahim Karanja, KTN News.
All right, let's take a fast commercial break here on Checkpoint. When we get back, we get into that conversation with the Health Cabinet Secretary, Mutahi Kagwe, who's with us in studio. Any questions you have for the CS, do text us on 22155. Tweet us at Akisa Wandera, at KTN News KE. The hashtag to use for easier tracking of your responses is Checkpoint. Remember, we're also asking you what you'd like to see the government prioritize, especially in the health docket. Let's take that break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.